my YouTube channel. So now what we want to do is we just want to quickly look at Nmap, right? How to scan networks, how to conduct a scan. So now this side I have you can see our objectives is to analysis, assessment, tool systems, programs. So you find this on domain 2 of CH exam, and then there's also tool systems programs domain 4 of CH. So if you want to take your CH exam or you want to take your pen test plus exam, this video will come in handy for you, like just to learn how to scan, especially the Nmap tools, the different tools options that we have within the Nmap, right? So in this lab, you will be scanning for host on a local area network. Figure 1 shows the lab topology for this lab. So this is the lab that we're going to use, right? We're going to be utilizing this lab on the side here. As you can see, I have my Kali Linux 2 there, and then we're going to be using this Kali Linux box to scan this network, right? So we're going to be just going through Nmap, understanding the different keys that Nmap has. Use Nmap to do a ping scan. Right, Nmap is a port scanner which will indicate whether ports are open or closed on a remote system. So we're looking for open ports that we can take advantage of, like in terms of like compromising a system or creating like a payload that we can use to get into that system. And then port in computer networking, a port is an endpoint of communication in operating system associated with an IP address of a host and the protocol type of the communication. So this is what a port is. But on this video, I'm assuming that you guys already have the basic understanding of networking. You already know what networking is. So you just want to understand the Nmap part, how to use the Nmap, right? And then we have like the Nmap, which is a GUI front end for Nmap, will allow you to scan for open ports and services. It's similar to Nmap, just that now this one uses the GUI. That side is command line interface. And then TCP, transmission control protocol, is a network protocol designed to send and ensure end-to-end delivery of data packets over the internet. And then we have the Metasploit, a framework that contains exploits for various information systems. But for now, what we want to focus on is the scanning phase, right? So this is on Pentest Plus. This is the second phase, the scanning, right? The first one is reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is whereby we are gathering information that is publicly available, right? For example, we call it the open source intelligence, right? Whereby we go to LinkedIn, and then on LinkedIn you find that, okay, we look for people that are working for this organization, right? And then look for their roles. You find that, okay, now once we have their names, we can use their names, like maybe to try to hack into the system using their usernames, and then creating, maybe trying to brute force attack with different passwords or password spraying, all those things, right? So on the reconnaissance, we are gathering information that is publicly available, right? For example, we spoke about LinkedIn, and then also on LinkedIn, you can find information about the adverts, the job posting that the organization is posted on LinkedIn to say, okay, we're looking for a Windows administrator, and then now we know, okay, they have a Windows system running on their network, right? And then they say, okay, now you find another post about them looking for a Linux system administrator. Then now we know that, okay, this organization, they do have like a Linux box in their machine. So this is public available information that we are gathering. But it might, for us now to verify that, yes, they do have this Windows server in their network, they really do have this Linux box in their network, we need to start to scan now, right? We need to start move to the scanning phase, whereby we send different commands using the Nmap, and then the system will respond, and then we'll be able to find out if it's really a Windows box, if it's really a Linux box, if it's really a BSD box, things like that, right? So that's the scanning phase, whereby we're trying to find out what are the systems that they're using. Gaining access, we're going to get to that part. But for now, we're just on this part, which is the scanning phase using Nmap, right? So let me see what we have here. So here is our system, right? Here is our Kali tool. So we're going to be using this Kali to scan these systems that we have on the side. So we're already within the network, right? As you can see, we are on the same network there. The IP address is the same as that one there. Sorry, the network is the same. We're on the same network with these other devices, 192.168.1.101, this one's .10.20.30. So we are in the same network, right? So let me quickly go through the system. Let me click on the. So basically what we're going to be doing here, right, this is my Kali box. As you can see now, this is Kali. I need to type in my username, which is root. And then down here, I have like the password, type in my password. Then I'm in my Kali box. It's going to take some time, right? Let's hope this will work, because you know, like the labs, sometimes you find out there is some glitches, right? Some of the features, they are not working at that moment, but let's hope it will work. So now I'll click on the terminal, right? Click on the terminal there. That's my terminal. I'm inside the terminal. And then now I want to start with, since we have this network, right? In order for you to test, or to test if these devices, they are active, right? What we usually do within the network, we use a ping command to ping all these devices. So ping, the problem with ping, I would have to ping them all one by one. Let's say my network is, as you can see, this one, maybe it's a /24, which means now I might have like 254 devices in my network, of which I don't have time to scan all of them one by one, but I can use Nmap to fast track that process, right? So there is that tag there, there's the P, and then 192.168, and then it's under .1, and then .0/24. So I just want to scan all of the devices within that. As you can see, I specified the network, meaning that I want to now, by doing this key there, it shows me, okay, now I want to do what we call host discovery, right? So I'm pinging devices. As I said, that if I was testing one device that it is alive or it can communicate with my Kali Linux, I was going to use a ping command to test that. But now I don't have time to ping all of them, 254 devices one by one using ping. So Nmap comes in with this key, which is -sp, which is used for host discovery, right? So I'm pinging those devices within the network, and then I think it will take a while, because there are so many devices, 254 devices, so it might take a while for the results to come back, right? But that is the first command, which is nmap-sp for host discovery. So if you're looking for discovery, we're scanning devices, we're scanning IP addresses within our network. We want to see which devices are alive, which devices are going to respond, right? So as you can see here, it says host is up. We have 192.168.1.10. Yes, there is 10 there. And then we have 1 to 20. 20 is there, it's up. And then we have 30, there is 30 is up. And then the other one is 254, which is the pfSense firewall, is up. And then we have 101, which is the Kali Linux. So you see all of these devices, these are the devices that are up in our network, right? They are the ones that have responded with this message saying, okay, they are up, right? So that is the first phase, right? Just to find out which devices are available within this network. So we know that the network range is this 192.168.1.0, because we are within the network. So we're just testing, trying to find out which devices are available. So we call it the host discovery. You're discovering the hosts that are available within the network, and then all of them, they've responded. As you can see, this is the number of devices that we have. So that's the first step, right? So these devices are available. We know 10, 20, 30, and 254 are all available, of which 101 is the device that we're using, right? Which is the Kali box. That was host discover, right? So the second phase now is the port scan. I want to do a port scan. So I've done the host discover, right? So now what I want to do is to find which ports are open within these devices. So I want to scan ports and then find out which ports are available, are open within this device, within these devices, right? So that will be nmap -s and then t and then t-p, and then let me not specify ports, because if I've let me say our network is 192.168.1.0/24, right? So it will show me all of the available ports. Okay, let me start this way. Let me be specific. Like, let me not, yeah, let me specify the device that I want to find out. So let's start with the Windows server, right? Which is a 192.168.1.0. 1.10. Let's find out. Okay, let's remove the P. The P is for allows us to specify the ports. So I don't want to specify the port. Let me just run it that way with us the P. So we're looking for open ports now, right? I'm scanning for open ports. So it's gonna go through the three-way handshake, which is like the scene arc, and then the arc. So it's gonna take a while. So we're looking for open ports. So we port scanning now. But which device? We're not scanning the entire network. We're scanning only the Windows server. As you can see now, it responds. So these are all open ports. So you can see port 7 open, and then you see the service there. So we have the port at the top there, and then we have the state. Is it open or closed? So all of these are open. The ones that didn't respond, that means they are closed, right? It only shows you the open one. And then the service here, which is echo, where so you can see SMTP is open. This tells you that this one is so some of the ports that you see open, it sometimes it gives you a hint what type of a device this one will be. So if this one, the SMTP is open, might tell you okay, maybe it's a server. We have like the HTTP open there, okay, it might be a server. And then we have the 443 it's open there. So it's kind of like the ports that you are receiving, the ports that you see, it tells you something, right? Gives you a message. So if you have done CISA Plus, which is the cybersecurity analyst exam, is one whereby they teach you how to analyze the data that you received from different tools that you're using to scan networks and things like that. So all these, it tells you something, right? So as you can see, we have all of these ports are open right now. Some of the ports that are open, they might tell you, okay, this one is a Windows box. Some will tell you, okay, because this port is open, it means this one is a Linux box, because maybe a Windows box doesn't use that particular port, right? So you can see these are the ports that are open on this device. Let's change now. Let's scan a .20. So .20 is that's a Windows 10 system there. So we started with the Windows Server. Let's see, it's gonna take a while. Okay, there it is. You can see now we don't have the port 80. We don't. Oh, there's the port. We don't have the port 80. We don't have. Oh, there's port 80 is open. HTTP is open, and then where is port 443? No, doesn't have that. So, but you can see all of these ports are open. SSH is open. FTP is open. So now you see, like, so we have a technique called the host hardening, right? Let me quickly show you what does host hardening mean. Okay, there it is, right? So host hardening consists of removing unnecessary applications, locking unnecessary ports and services, tightly controlling any external storage devices that are going to be connected to the host, disabling unneeded accounts on the system, renaming default accounts, and changing default passwords. So, for example, this system that we are currently working on now, the system that we are hacking now, let me go back to my network. Where is it? Where's my Kali box? Okay, so with the regards to these systems that we have this side, right, you can see now this administrator, this network administrator, they didn't do the host hardening. Some of the ports that the systems are not even using, they are still open, so they didn't close those ports. So host hardening is a term or is a concept whereby we try by all means to close the open ports that the system is not using, or we close, for example, the not secure ports, we make sure that we close them. For example, this server is having port 80, which is open, but why not close port 80 and then leave port 443? So you have like the secure ports which are open. So what's happening is us going through the system, making sure that the accounts that we don't need, like for example, on a Windows server, you find that okay, maybe we have like 3 or 4 accounts, and then maybe the fourth account, no one is using it, it's just there, right? So things like that, we have to make sure that you remove those accounts because the hackers they take advantage of those accounts, right? So okay, that was the port scanning phase. Let me move to the stealth mode, right? So stealthy scan is whereby we are not doing a full TCP connection. We're trying to avoid firewalls, right? So we sending a scene flag to the systems, but we're not completing that TCP three-way handshake, because to try by all means to avoid being detected by the firewalls, because all of these scans the firewall might detect them, right? So you try by all means to be stealthy, right? To be stealthy so that you won't be detected by the firewalls, because the firewalls might pick up any traffic within this network, right? So you try by all means to be stealthy. Say let's say 192.168. So we're gonna put it on stealth mode dot 1.10. So I want to scan that server again. So I'm scanning my server. So this is the scanning phase, right? We faced looking for vulnerabilities within the system, and then we're going to get to the part whereby we gain access to the system. But you can't gain access without first finding out how vulnerable the system, what are the vulnerabilities that the system have. So once we find all of the vulnerabilities, then we can now take advantage of that system, right? We take advantage of the weakness of the system. So now we're busy scanning. So we're gonna like run different scans, collect different information, and then once we're done with scanning the system, we look at the information that we have collected and say, okay, so which attack are we going to, which vulnerability are we going to utilize so that we can be able to compromise the system, right? For now, we're collecting as much information as we can, so that once we have gathered the entire information that we need, then we can start now saying, okay, which one is the easy way? We know, okay, we have this vulnerability, and then these are the well-known vulnerabilities within the network, within the industry, right? And then they already have like the easy ways of attacking that vulnerability. So we want to take advantage of things like that. So this stage we are scanning, right? Okay, we have found out those are the open ports. So we're stealthy. So sometimes you need to be stealthy so that you can avoid detection within that network, right? So that was a stealthy scan. So now the second thing that you will need to do is to do what we call OS detection, right? So we want to do what we call OS detection. Nmap, let me, and then dash O. Okay, capital letter O. Linux is case sensitive, right? Just make sure that is that a O or I typed in a 0. Okay, that's an O. And then the IP address of the server 192.168.1.10, right? We just want to find out. So this key now, the -0, it tells you is for, we call it is for OS fingerprinting. You want to find out what is the operating system this machine is using, right? So it can guess what OS is the system using based on collected information, right? So it will take a while, right? So nmap dash O, capital letter O, and then the IP address of the system that you want to do OS fingerprinting, meaning that I want to find out what operating system that you're using. But you notice that before we even did this, like we did when we did like an nmap scan, the first one, we're able to tell it, okay, what type of a system this one might be based on the ports that are open, right? But if the system didn't give you enough information to be able to tell that this is a Windows machine, this is a Linux machine, then you can use this command nmap dash capital letter O and the IP address. This one is mainly for OS fingerprinting to tell you what type of system is running on that machine. As you can see there, it returns information. It says running Microsoft Windows Vista 2008, right? So this tool, this command, I mean, it is used mainly for to retain what operating system the machine that we are pinging is using. You can see we have like a lot of information there, and then also shows you the distance, right? One hop. That means this machine is not far. It's within the network that we are in. So it just took us one hop, like it's not far, one hop. So the hops will be like how many IP addresses did I pass through to get to that destination. So it's one hop. That means it's a device that is within the network here, right? It's not that far. So you can see all of these open ports. If you just look at the open ports, most of them, they can give you a hint as to what operating system is running on this box, right? But if that open ports doesn't give you detailed information to tell what operating system is running on this machine, then you can easily use the Nmap O, and then the IP address, and then it will return this, tells you exactly what operating system. So it takes a guess. So it can guess what OS is the system using based on collected information, right? Okay, the second one is I can also use the Nmap dash capital letter A, and then the IP address 192.168. Now let me scan our Windows 10 machine. Let me say 1.10. That's a 20. This one is a server at 10. Okay, let me scan this one. So again, we're doing OS detection, but it also tells you the version detection, right? The protocols, script scanning, and traceroute also does a traceroute for you, right? So Nmap-A 192.168.1.20. So it's a 20 is this system here. So internal Windows 10, and then here's the internal Windows server, and then Metasploitable system there. So what we are scanning this Windows 10. We just want to find out what operating system it is. So the scan is taking forever. Let's wait for it to return the results for us. Okay, so there's the system. So we have the systems there. Come on, give us the results back. It's taking a while, right? So I know, like when you watch the movies, like most of the times, what they do, they type in 3, 2, or 4 buttons, right? And then they say, "Yes, we're in." When they're hacking systems, right? They type few buttons, and then they say, "Yes, we are in. We have hacked the system." But that's not how it works, right? Like on the real world, like it's a longer process. It takes time. You gotta wait for system to get the results, and then analyze the results, and be able to tell, okay, now what exactly, which attack am I going to use? What's the vulnerability based on the results that I received from Nmap and things like that. So it's not like typing 3, 4 buttons and then you are inside the system. No, that's the movies. In the movies, yeah, it works like that. But in the real world, it doesn't. You gotta like go through all the phases, and sometimes you gotta maybe you skip some phases. You're like you skip some phases. But in general, you start with the reconnaissance, and then you go to scanning. You move from scanning to gaining access. From gaining access, you until to the documentation part. Okay, if you are a black hat hacker, there's no documentation part, right? But if you're a white hat hacker, which means you are employed by your client, and then your client paid you to do the scan, you need to document, and then need to give them feedback once you're done. Okay, they are the results, right? Even though they took forever to come back. So you can see, says this one is a Microsoft system, right? So Windows CPE, you can see results by, let me go up, scroll up a bit, show me what's up there. You see, hey, where am I now? Okay, network okay, there is Nmap A, and then host is up, latency, and then not shown, filtered ports 998, port state service version, and then you can see all of that. Microsoft FTP, you can see this is a Microsoft system, and then must be written somewhere there. Microsoft Windows RPC. So you can see all of these. If these ports, if it's using Microsoft RPC, this gives you a hint that this one is in Windows operating system, right? And then it says Microsoft Windows 98 Net BIOS. So it gives you a hint that this is a Windows operating system. So now I just wanna scan this Linux box there and then see what are the results gonna be. I don't wanna do A because A. Let me remove A. Let me just do an O, which will be much quicker than the A, right? So Nmap-O, so that key, the O, is for OS fingerprinting. Okay, let's give it some time. Let's see. Okay, done. Let's see what ports are open there. So you can see this is, no, we scanned the wrong one. We scanned 20. Sorry, we scanned 20 instead of 30. I'm wondering, why are we receiving those ports? Like, why is it saying MSRPC dot 30 there for a Linux machine? Because 30, this is our machine there. Let's see. So that will take a while. Let's see. So the you see it says Microsoft. Where is that part? Microsoft Windows 8 Enterprise. Okay. So there are the results, right? Let's see, what does it say? So it says running Linux 2.6.x, right? So you can see now it tells you, okay, what operating system is running on that machine. As we know, that's a Metasploit derived from under Linux, right? So it's a Linux box, that one. Okay. Okay, now this video has taken longer than I expected. I didn't want it to take more than 20 minutes. Now it's on 26 minutes. Let me see if I can run one more scan. But this scan will take time to give us the results. Okay, for now, let me stop it here and then we'll continue later. Okay, let me not stop. Let me do one more scan, which is the script. Let me write the last one, which is the script, right? So let me run the script nmap. Sorry, nmap dash dash script 192.168.1.30. So this script will run all of the keys that we've been using. Like it will put all of them together and then run all of them right at the same time, of which it will take time because it's using the dash A key, the dash O key, the dash ST key, so all of those things. So let me run it. So it will take time like to respond. Take a while to respond there. Okay, still scan going through. Let me stop this.